Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Mary Ellen and I'm an educator in the state of Illinois. Monday was the day that we celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. If you enjoyed this day off to celebrate with your family, go ahead and click that like button down below. Although our official holiday is over, I personally like to extend my students' education about Martin Luther King Jr. throughout the month of January. Martin Luther King Jr. was a pastor in Montgomery, Alabama. He believed in equality for all. A Bible verse that I feel goes hand in hand with this concept is Luke chapter 10, verse 27. One of the ways that I implement this important concept into my classroom is through centers or workstations. In my technology center, the students complete a Martin Luther King Jr. lesson on lyrics to learn. They will listen and sing along with the passage for 4 days. Each day, they are given a quiz that focuses on a different learning objective. You have literal understanding, inferencing, and complex concepts. When they are given these quizzes, the students will always see the passage on the left-hand side and then the question with multiple choice answers on the right-hand side. On the 4th day, the students have to complete a constructive response in reply to either a question or a writing prompt that they have been given. Once they have finished all 4 days, we then move on to other lyrics to learn lessons that focus on famous American individuals. Another activity that I like to utilize is a Martin Luther King Jr. trading card. Now, depending on my class, I will either put this in a center or I'll just let them all complete it at the same time so that they can collaborate. Now, since this is an online trading card creator, you would need to be one-to-one Chromebooks or computers in order to allow the students to complete it all at once. In order to create their cards, the students have to click on the Get Started button. They will then be prompted to type in their name. Now, I personally utilize this as a research project, so it's important that my students type in their real name so I know whose trading card it is when I'm grading it. The students then have to input their title. Now, I either have them put Martin Luther King or MLKJ because Martin Luther King Jr. will not fit into this spot. They then have to choose a category for their trading card, and of course for this particular project it would be a real person. Now it's research time. The students get to upload a picture of Martin Luther King Jr. They also have to locate information in order to be able to answer background information, important events, quotes, a problem he faced, and tell us what they think about Martin Luther King Jr. Throughout this project, you want to make sure that your students are clicking the next arrow, which is down on the right-hand side. Remember that this is a two-sided trading card, so there will be additional questions when you flip it over. Once they're completed, they then click the Finished Editing and then Finish. Now, if their computer has direct access to a printer, then I go ahead and have them print that off. If not, then they just email it to me and I will print it for them. I do laminate these so that the students can keep them for a long time. And I make sure I place their grade in the grade book. I'm looking for all of the answers to be completed correctly, everything done, good sentence formation, and correct capitalization. I incorporate a Martin Luther King Jr. closed reading into one of my teacher-led small groups. The students will read a passage, then they will take vocabulary words, put them in the correct blank. They will take one of the vocabulary words and create a sentence over it. Then at the end, they will answer 3 questions related to the passage. Now, during this time, I like to work with the students on going back into the passage and finding textual evidence. I also give them highlighters so they can highlight that area in order to easily locate it. I believe that Webquest are important to utilize within the classroom. This not only encourages research, but it also helps the students become more confident as they navigate on the computer. The Webquest that I utilize during this time has 11 questions. Once the students complete question 7, they are prompted to click on a link that will take them to a video of Martin Luther King Jr. giving part of his I Have a Dream speech. After they have finished all of the questions, the students will then be instructed to click on another link. This time it takes them to YouTube and shows them a short video from Kid President. Now you can always modify this for your classroom, so you may have them do it individually, in pairs, in groups, or maybe you complete it as a whole class by projecting it up on your smartboard or your Promethean board. Just make sure that you tailor it to the needs of your class. I purchase a personal account to Vocabulary each and every year. Now since this is just a single purchase, I do have to utilize most of these activities as a whole group. Vocabulary has a great lesson for this time. It's called Civil Rights. The song that correlates with this lesson begins with Martin Luther King Jr. giving part of his I Have a Dream speech and then moves on from there. Under each vocabulary song, you have a little button to your right that says discussion. Now I wait till day 2 or 3 to utilize this discussion button because the song will pause periodically and project a thought-provoking question. Underneath the song is an area for vocabulary cards, and here they introduce and explain key terms. Then you have a vocab quiz, and here you focus on those vocabulary words that you learned previously. This is very interactive, fun game, and the students always enjoy it. As they come up and they choose the correct answer, we start building a beat. So with each correct answer, a new instrument will join in our song. This is great motivation for memory recall. Vocabulary has a read and respond area where the students read a passage, are given a question, and there's multiple choice answers. Now I make sure and keep this interactive by calling up different students to answer our question. I usually have a lot of volunteers to read the passage as well, so I will call on some individuals who would like to do that. Then you have the interactive quiz and lyrics lab remaining. Since this is January, my students are familiar with how Lyrics Lab works, so I'm able to just start them off and then put them into groups in order to finish their rhyming rap. They will get to present this at the end of the lesson. Vocabulary offers teacher resources where you're provided with pre-made lesson plans, group work, creative projects, and also presentations. The last activity that I'm going to focus on today is a Martin Luther King Jr. Foldable. This is free on Teachers Pay Teachers, and like everything else that I've talked about today, I'll make sure and link that down in the description box below. For this activity, the students get to cut out and create their own foldable. Each flap on the foldable has a question, and the students just answer it underneath the flap. This works great for all ages of students. I hope these activities help you out in the classroom. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe, and everybody click that like button for me. I appreciate it, and YouTube likes it too. It helps the algorithm promote these Martin Luther King ideas out to more teachers. Thank you so much for watching. And remember to be proud of your work, productive in your day, and positively joyful.